A warm welcome and a very good morning to one and all present over here, teachers. There are many school leaders, chairmen, directors. Thank you so much for joining on another Super Sunday workshop. It has been a pleasure conducting such kind of workshops every Sunday morning at 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock. I would like to warmly welcome for the teachers who have come here for the first time. You could know about all these workshops and the updates from our websites in the upcoming event section at superteacher.in, or else you could join the link of Telegram, which is a small community that we have where your details are completely confidential. Nobody will get to see your numbers as such, and that's why we chose Telegram. And you could be part of it. And every Thursday or Friday we put about what's going to be the workshop in the upcoming Sunday, depending on the specificity and applicability for a respective person out there. You could please join the webinar. I'm thankful for all the teachers who've been regularly participating in this. And today also I've got a lot of people who are really consistent, like Pratibha ma'am or Rekha ma'am, Aruna, Vasanta, Anuradha, Nageshwar Rao sir, Sulagna, Rupa, many schools like Army Public Schools, some of the Kendriya Vidyalaya schools, and many other private schools as well. Thank you so much for joining. And I'll make sure that the next 40-45 minutes that we discuss about on another interesting topic is completely fruitful, beneficial, and provides you a lot of exposure. Yeah. So this could be considered as one platform wherein it's more like a news bulletin kind of, or more like an exposure platform in, like, for whatever is happening in the education system kind of, or else if you want to clarify a few doubts that's present on the website, rather than you doing the reading on the circulars, which is completely black and white, or going through the 1,000-page documents, probably I am just summarizing them in a gist. I would request everybody to please go and cross-check the verifications of the facts. However, for whatever is being spoken in this 1 hour will be properly evidented with the materials that will be shown with the PowerPoint presentations. And parallelly, we also conduct the continuous professional development teacher training programs. If anybody is interested out there, the last few batches will be running in the month of June, and 8th June, one of the batches starting. You could actually enroll for it. The classes happen from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock, Monday to Friday. It will be for 12 days, accounting to 25 hours. 4 days will extend to 15 minutes. So that's it with respect to a little bit of marketing, but here we go. So today's topic is all about foundational literacy and numeracy. One of the most important agenda, I should say, in a child's life. When we talk about foundational literacy and numeracy, this came into existence long back, even National Curriculum Framework 2005, where they spoke about early childhood care and education. And under that area, they said that language and numeracy are the only two elements that could be used to understand the external world or the surrounding where we live in. And hence, it has been given a lot of importance since then. If we talk about literacy, it's all about understanding a language. Now, nowhere it is said that this particular literacy has to be only in English. If that's an English medium school, obviously foundational literacy directly talks about English. But early childhood care and education document and National Curriculum Framework foundational stage both emphasize on the facts that the mother tongue could be used as one of the important elements to understand aksharas and varnas. So this is the exact terms that they've used. And just not that, there is one very important ability of a child that gets I'm stuck, right? It's not Zoom, it's me. It's more like embedded in a particular child. And this particular thing is called as talking to yourself. A child will be able to think on his own thinking abilities or talk to himself or herself. And this is possible at an early age. And that is successfully possible only with language. So this ability of talking to your own self, or ability of a child to think about what they're actually thinking, is also termed as metacognition. So the metacognitive abilities of a particular individual, which actually begins somewhere at the age of 3 or 4 or 5, is directly supported by two important areas, and one is literacy, the other one is numeracy. So that is why FLN has been given a lot of importance as, from psychology point of view. Another important observation that India as a country, Ministry of Education, observe that most children out there are not able to comprehend letters, words, sentences when they come to grade 4 or 5, which becomes very difficult for a teacher to actually talk about the chapter, and the time is focused rather on the languages. Well, we do have a language subject throughout, which keeps talking about the affective domain of emotions, social behavior, and various other aspects of presenting yourself to the external environment. But that's not language all about. It's also about knowing how to read and comprehend things. Sometimes we all would have come across, we read continuously the newspapers, but we don't really care what's the news is. Sometimes it becomes very difficult that you're there on a stage, you keep talking about one or the other topics, and you don't really know the meaning of it. So the rote learning, which is directly assisted over here, just because a child is able to speak out something or read something pretty fast, doesn't mean they have got good foundational literacy. So literacy also emphasize on comprehension to a large extent, comprehending the meaning of a word, understanding the context of a particular word, understanding what kind of reading we are doing. Hence, foundational literacy and numeracy became very important. In 2017, again, this emphasis was done, and there was a document released on early childhood care and education on the emphasis of FLN. And then NEP 2020, of course, it has got its own points, which I'll be listing out on few presentation. You can take a picture of it because I will not be able to share the slide in this particular webinar, but that will give you a good insight on where are we actually heading towards to. Well, there is a mission by 2025. By 2025, all the children in India should be completely foundationally literate and numerate. What do we mean by this? I'll talk about this. And for that, let's quickly talk, I'll share the screen and show you some of the interesting facts and figures. And in this webinar, we'll also try to cover how this could be actually achieved in a particular setup. And for that, I would like to share the screen in another 5 seconds. Here we go. Okay. Where are we? Great. So I think you'll be able to see the screen in 3, 2, and 1. Great. Come on. Great. I'm not able to again. I hope everybody's able to see the screen. Just show a thumbs up, Nandini ma'am. Great. Thank you. Thank you. So here we go. Now, foundational literacy and numeracy. Learn to read to learn. Now, this is an interesting, I wouldn't say jargon, but a slogan sort of a thing. Now, we are all here somewhere. We are trying to, learn to teach, something like that. We are trying to understand the circulars, the policies. We are somewhere learning on what to teach or something related to teaching. And right after this webinar, from tomorrow onwards, if you're going to implement all these things, it's more like you teach so that the children can learn. I hope you're getting the connect. It's exactly, very similar to that. So it's very important for somebody to establish the reading abilities and at an early age. And they have mentioned grade 3 in India as of now. Some countries, it's actually grade 1 itself, which is kind of too much of a pressure, like Japan, but I do not know. I'm not really the right person to comment on that, but they have. Few countries, they actually start their schooling after the age of 6 or 7. Now, that is another way of looking at it. So with various countries, here in this case, in India, we talk about learning to read so that you can read to learn from grade 3 and above. So let me talk about that, and here we go. So the first thing first, to make it authentic, FLN is making learners competent in doing meaningful reading and writing by the time they enter grade 3. This is exactly the statement as mentioned in the foundational literacy and numeracy document. Okay, so by grade 3 is the target. Here we go. So NEP 2020 mentions, recommends a move towards active experiential learning to drive higher order thinking in a classroom. Active experiential learning, in order to have higher order thinking in the classroom. Okay. NEP 2020 recommends and aims to ensure that each teacher should participate in at least 50 hours of continuous professional development opportunities. Sorry for the spelling mistake over there. It was voice typing. And the third, to improve the FLN outcomes for children across India, a national mission on foundational literacy and numeracy will be launched for ensuring that every child in the country necessarily attains foundational literacy and numeracy in grade 3 by 2025. Now that's a big mission. We've got another 2 academic years, 23, 24. No, yeah, kind of the coming and the next. And 4, to ensure that the goals of the FLN mission are achieved, Teachers should be provided with good quality and well-designed teaching and learning materials and effective professional development opportunities. Now, this fourth point, Government of India has done a very good job, and you should actually, undergo this training in Diksha portal. Today, I'll be sharing some of the snippets from there, and the way it is arranged, it is one of the best, CPD that you can ever undergo under Diksha. Very nicely arranged. Rather than getting confused with multiple videos on YouTube, Diksha could be one point of contact for you to get understanding about FLN completely. Let's go further. Now, this is the launch video of FLN, which I would like to quickly play. It's around 2 minutes 40 seconds. Just please watch this.
Education and learning begins from birth and early childhood. Children naturally absorb knowledge through their real life experiences. They learn best through play and in a joyful environment. The foundational learning is an indispensable prerequisite for all future learning. For this reason, in India's National Education Policy 2020, the focus has been emphasized upon foundational learning, which is aligned with the vision of India's Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji.
राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति के तहत फाउंडेशनल लिटरेसी एंड न्यूमरेसी के विकास को एक राष्ट्रीय मिशन के रूप में लिया जाएगा। प्रारंभिक भाषा का ज्ञान, संख्या का ज्ञान, बच्चों में सामान्य लेख को पढ़ने और समझने की क्षमता का विकास, ये बहुत आवश्यक होता है।
Under his leadership, the Ministry of Education has been driving the goal of foundational literacy and numeracy as a national mission. Nipun Bharat, as this mission is called, aims to enable every child to achieve basic reading with understanding and numeracy by grade 3, for which learning goals have been identified for preschool class to grade 3 in the form of Lakshyas. Nishtha 3.0 program for Nipun Bharat ensures the training of over 25 lakh pre-primary and primary teachers across India. They are being trained on how to make education fun with play for effective and hands-on learning of children. Vidya Pravesh, a 3-month play-based school preparation program, prepares children for formal learning at schools in Class 1. Early education ascertains overall development of a child, be it cognitive, intellectual, speech and language, or social and emotional. Today's children are tomorrow's adults, with potential to pave powerful path for their nation's progress. That is how India is shaping up a strong foundation for a stronger future.
So that's the launch video, foundational literacy and numeracy, and the various other aspects. While FLN also talk about more than FLN, NCF FS, National Curriculum Framework for Foundational Stage, also talks about the 5 domains of development, which are linguistic, emotional, actually 6 in fact, physical attributes, intellectual, social, and the sensory acceptance, sensory receptions. The 6 areas of development of a particular child until they reach an age of 8 to 10. It's very important to have a strong foundation in all these 6 areas, but all the 6 areas can be catered under multiple policies of India, where language, the linguistic development, is completely taken care by FLN mission. And Nipun Bharat, as usual, Nipun, which is an Hindi word, but it has got an English full form. We'll be talking about it again. Nipun is, I think, Chatur, a smart or genius, something like that, right? Nipun Bharat. That's an interesting mission out there. And under this mission, a lot of programs have come forward. I'm sorry, let's go forward. Here we go. So one of the circulars that speak about, the foundational literacy and numeracy is the latest one. I think this is the one. 2023. 17th March 2023, implementation of National Curriculum Framework for Foundational Stage 2022 from the academic session 23-24. So this particular circular also mentions about the same. We will have a detailed another session or webinar on National Curriculum Framework Foundational Stage on another Sunday. But right now, let's completely focus on FLN. So that's the reason I'm not getting into the details of the circular, but let's go forward. Now, once we get into the details, let's understand numeracy and literacy from Nipun Bharat point of view. And for that, I would like to click on the website. Okay, so let me stop share the screen for a second, teachers. Link is not working. Here we go. So Nipun Bharat, first of all, when we go to the CBSE website, let me do it along with you, why not? So we go to the CBSE portal, okay? And the moment we go over there, there is a separate microsite in the sense, another site inside of that, which is completely on FLN. It's getting loaded. This is how it looks like. Again, some teachers will suggest me that too many tabs open, so the system is actually slow. You're absolutely right. But I have to show all these things to you today, so that's the reason I am just keeping it alive. And this is the website. Great. Okay, so here in this case, foundational literacy and numeracy, separate microsite is present in the CBSE academic website itself. You will have FLN written over there somewhere in the corner, which will get you over here. And once we get over here, we'll get the complete mission vision statement of what FLN is all about, and also the link to the Diksha portals for teacher training programs and the resource material for the assessment and various other aspects. So why foundational literacy and numeracy? We'll be talking about this in detail during the slide presentation. But foundational learning in children is children's ability to read with meaning and do basic math calculation by class 3, just like the way we discussed. And if you get into these two headers, you'll get to understand the actual learning outcomes. So foundational numeracy, the children should be able to identify numbers. They've not mentioned how many digits, but it's a 2-digit number, 3-digit number identification, 2-digit number calculations, discriminate between numbers, find missing numbers. So they need to know the order of the numbers, solve additional problems, solve subtraction problems, solve word problems. Now, ability of a child to convert word into numbers is also very important. If I tell you some patterns, I think you will be able to come up with your numeracy skills. Could you please put it on the chat? So if I tell the numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, what kind of numbers are we talking about over here? Even numbers. That's right. That's right. Even numbers. Okay, that's great. If I talk about divisible by 2, okay, that's another approach. Like, okay, this is divisible by 2. Or else if I say that 1, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, odd numbers. No, 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 no. These are not odd numbers. 1, 3, 5, 7 prime numbers. Exactly. We jump to conclusion, right? So yeah, your numeracy skills are extremely good. Somewhere the listening skills became a little slow. I'm just kidding, teachers. I hope you don't mind. So this is with respect to prime numbers. One more. Let's try to understand this. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Exactly. Fibonacci series. Exactly. It's a Fibonacci numbers. Yeah. Natural whole. Yeah. All the Fibonacci numbers could be categorized under natural numbers or whole numbers. Great. Fibonacci series. Somewhere I'm just trying to, connect the dots of what exactly numeracy could be. And you are the better people to understand on that. Similarly, when we talk about foundational literacy, we have got identify letters, read familiar words, listen with comprehension, only read with fluency and comprehension. Write 3 to 4 sentences independently. Now, this is completely related to, English or Hindi or Tamil or Telugu or Kannada. It could be any language. However, considering CBSE schools out there, considering that medium of instruction, this actually varies and changes. Under Diksha portal, the training is in Hindi and English. So probably the other languages, we might not have the training, but the teacher can understand the context from here and implement it in respective schools. But let's go forward. So this is with respect to the Foundational Literacy and Numeracy website, which I would request everyone to go through a little later. And they've got everything, the history about it, what does NEP talks about. So most of the information that we are talking, we are speaking today in this session is taken from FLN website and Nipun Bharat. Now, Nipun Bharat website ka link is present in that website, but somewhere the link is not opening about. So I do not know why, so I'm opening it separately. So yeah, this is Nipun Bharat and understanding foundational numeracy. And here again, you have got the complete report of where the teacher training could be done. What are the documents? The foundational learning study. Foundational learning is categorized into literacy and numeracy. That's it. So foundational learning categorized literacy and numeracy. So here they have given the complete the pathway of how this is going to get implemented and how the mission will be succeeded by 2025. And they've got multiple programs under all these steps. Something like Vidya Pravesh program was also there. I couldn't read much about it, considering I didn't have time to do that, but I would request you to please go ahead and learn about Vidya Pravesh as well, and various other aspects. So this video you already kind of saw it in this thing. So let's directly get to the point. What as a teacher are you supposed to do? And for that, let me directly get into this. Now, this particular mission of FLN, now we are going to talk about actionable items, the mission and goal. Before that, let's understand the reasoning for it. The future of our children and India's ambition of maximizing its demographic dividend depend on whether children attain these basic reading and math skills by class 3. Completely is dependent on that. And that is a reason too much of an importance. So primary and pre-primary teachers, you are on demand. Big time demand right now, at least in this academic year 23-24. Class 3 is considered the inflection point by which children are expected to learn to read so that they can read to learn after that. Just like the way you have the inflection point in grade 1, where the children are completely able to identify numbers from 0 to 9 and letters from A to Z if it's an English medium school. In class 3, it is about the comprehension of the same, the arrangements of these letters and numbers. Those who fail to attain these basic literacy and numeracy skills find it very difficult to catch up in later years and risk dropping out of school. And you'll not believe the numbers that have been shown in the website is huge. We never expected, though we have Right to Education Act, we have got so many policies out there to make sure all the children in the country learn. Still, there is so many dropouts. Even in this era of education, children are not going to schools. So that's a very sad state, and I was taken aback. I really didn't get into the details of the numbers as such and don't want to do right now, but I would request you to please know about it, just to understand the seriousness. FLN skills enable children to learn more meaningfully in higher classes and acquire 21st century skills like problem solving and critical thinking. So these are the 4 major reasons under which FLN is categorized. But this is what I wanted to talk about. So what is foundational literacy as such? Now here in this case, teachers, whatever I'm showing you, I think you're able to see this. Have you seen this kind of a screenshot ever before? Anyone out there? This particular screenshot is on Diksha portal. Yes, you're right. Some of you are already answering it. Yeah. So when we got into Diksha, we found this to be quite effective. Most of these pointers were not present in the website, so I had to undergo the complete course and then figure out what exactly is the goal. So the goal is something like this. Look at the way they have drafted. So when we talk about FLN ready child, the child will be able to listen and respond orally with meaning. Now, oral is very important. That is the speaking skills. That's the goal. Identify all letters and their sounds. Here we really talk about the phonetics, the way a particular word is pronounced, the PH words and all those things. Read words by blending letter sounds. Blending letter sounds. Sometimes we have got all these tongue twisters, probably something related to that. English teachers, you can support me. Read grade level text with meaning. Very important. When children are reading, sometimes they just read without understanding the meaning, which is kind of a danger or somewhere a lacuna or a gap. Write sentences to communicate meaning. So these are the 5 aspects of meaning of foundational literacy. Interesting, right? Listen and respond orally, identify all letters and their sounds, read words by blending letter sounds, read grade level text with meaning, write sentences to communicate meaning. Done. Now let's go to the numeracy aspects. And under numeracy, what are we supposed to do? Identify 3-digit numbers. Oh, very good. Okay, these are 3-digit numbers. But most importantly, understand place values. Why 0 has got better value after a number rather than before a number. Something like that. Solve 3-digit addition, subtraction, 2-digit multiplication problems. I'll repeat it. 3-digit addition and subtraction, but 2-digit multiplication problems. All these by grade 3. Understand shapes and patterns. This is something that starts in the pre-primary level where they talk about strokes and all. Short and long, understand the concepts of length, height, and weight, the magnitude. Classify and interpret data. So that means you have got different objects present out there. You classify under. Now this classification, I wouldn't really call under numeracy, but they mentioned it over there. It's more from scientific temperament, but maybe they're talking about the number of animals that are present over there, number of letters that are present over there, maybe something related to numbers. So when we got into the details of the curriculum or this particular course, so it was all about numbers. So let's go further. Let's go further. Now, for each and every grade, we have certain milestones. If these milestones are achieved, that means you are there in the right direction. So for numeracy milestone grade 1, it says that by grade 1, a child should be ready to reads and writes numbers up to 99 correctly. So reading and writing is very, very important. One very good catch over here is when we talk about numbers. Now numbers are represented on a piece of paper which are written in English. Are you able to understand? So if I write the spelling of 99, so Ninty, or is it Ninety? So 99. So when we talk about the spelling of a number, now that's a dependency on literacy. So these both actually cannot be divided. They both are, going hand in hand. But what's really important is reads and writes numbers up to 99 correctly. Make sure that this character is enabled in the literacy as well. We'll talk about the milestones over there as well. Let's go further. Let's go further. And right after grade 1, grade 2 ka milestone solves 2-digit addition and subtraction problem. Solves 2-digit addition and subtraction problem. Understand the concepts of length, height, and weight. So this is the place where there is a comparison of the physical attribute of numbers, length, height, weight. Now all these are physical attributes which are given certain quantity through numbers. Number become meaningless when there is no physical connection. What do you mean by 4? Until there is a unit besides it called as 4 meter. I hope you're able to understand. So that is the reason length, height, and width are considered to be entities to connect that physical attributes of mathematics with numbers. So if we talk to children with just the habit of 1, 2, 3, 4 without its connection with the physical attributes, it becomes very, very difficult for the children to comprehend numbers and its value. Yeah. So even now we are somewhere there, many of us, at least me, I just don't sometimes understand about the magnitude of a particular number. If I say 100, what do you mean by 100? So 100 lakhs or 100 crores or 100 kg, what is it about? Some physical attribute. Then we go to grade 3, and grade 3 has got solves 3-digit addition, subtraction, and 2-digit multiplication problems. So this is where your learning outcomes that was mentioned in the beginning gets completed. This is the milestone. Identify and describe basic 2D shapes. So the shapes and pattern. So you would have understood that the shapes pattern, which are more like a physical attribute, are getting connected with the numbers simultaneously. So these are the milestones of grade 3. So let me just go back once more if anybody would like to look into it once more. So this is grade 1, reads and writes numbers up to 99 correctly. Grade 2 solves 2-digit addition and subtraction problem. Understand the concepts of length, height, and weight. Grade 3, we have solves 3-digit addition and subtraction and 2-digit multiplication problems. Identify and describe basic 2D shapes. Now these are the milestones, more like a learning outcome, but the methodology is completely up to a teacher. And in fact, as we are talking about numeracy, do you know or have you come across this model called a CPA model? You can actually put it in the chat. CPA. So CPA model. Yeah, concept forward background should be clear. Yes, you're right, Meenakshi ma'am. Now CPA as a model is all about concrete. Okay, let me show that to you. Here we go. Okay, and I'm sharing my screen. Okay, great. So this is CPA model for foundation literacy number. So concrete, pictorial, and abstract approach. So concrete, pictorial, and abstract approach is a fantastic approach, or else a suggested approach as per the Diksha portal, the training programs as by the government of India, where they talk about, when we talk about numbers, concrete, let us introduce the shapes, or let us introduce the concepts using objects, the actual objects. Okay, this is one apple. These are two oranges, or these are bananas, or things like that, where they can actually count associated with an actual object. Yeah, so that's with respect to concrete. That's the first day of the class. Probably the second period or the second day, we're going to do the same thing by representing that on the blackboard or a whiteboard, and that could be representing the concepts with pictures on these platforms. So that's called as pictorial. So concrete the first time, the pictorial the second time, and the third, which is abstract, representing the concepts with numbers and symbols. So gradually we are bringing the children from what they have really experienced on a day-to-day basis of apples and oranges to the classroom via the blackboard with the numbers. Nice, right? CPA approach, concrete, pictorial, and abstract approach. Now, once this is done, once this is established, then we can get into the details of other pedagogical approaches. Like some teachers will have some games of, numbers. Like think about a number in your mind and now add 2 to it, now subtract 5 to it, and things like that. You do that, right? But maybe all those things could be done right after this. Now, one important point that Diksha meant, and it was quite offensive, that like some teachers or people think that their approach is correct for FLN. No, do not get into your own style of teaching and learning until it's verified by an expert, because it's very important at FLN. The foundation is getting created, and if the approach is not adopted properly, somewhere there are a lot of misconception that gets built in a particular child. Some teachers try to compare the numbers first, like 3 is greater than 2, 10 is greater than 12, and then they talk about 1 2 3 4 5 6 an order, which according to the training program they mentioned that it was wrong. Ideally it is supposed to be 1 2 3 4, first mention that the sequence and then talk about greater than, less than. Like this is the thing that's present out there, and I was like, wow, okay, that's right. Yeah, we should follow some protocols out there. So that's with respect to CPA model. Now that we have understood the milestone of numeracy, we'll get to understand the milestones of literacy, and then we'll start with the activities that are associated with foundational literacy and numeracy. And for that, I would like to go back to our presentation, and the first one, the grade 1. Okay, let me share my screen. I'm sorry. 1 2 3. So the grade 1 literacy milestone, this is how it looks like. So literally across grade 1 to 3. So grade 1, orally answer simple questions after listening to a short story. This is very important from speaking perspective. The children need not have great writing skills, but they can have great speaking and listening skills. So the bridge between speaking and actually writing are two different areas, and it's a misconception out there. Many people think that only after learning A, B, C, D, E, F, G till Z, or aksharas for that matter, varnas, the children will be able to, speak very well. If a teacher thinks like that, no, that's a misconception. And this is exactly the statement as mentioned in the Diksha training portal also. There are multiple misconceptions that the teacher can have, and this is one of them. So orally answer simple questions after listening to a short story. Thirsty crow ka story tha. I remember some of the stories where the fox and the crow, the greedy fox, no, the greedy crow, something like that, right? Let's go to the second milestone. Identify and write aksharas taught in grade 1. This is where writing comes into picture, and this writing will also enable the children to read. I think you tell the children, right? जब आप क लिखते हो तो क बोलो, जब आप ख लिखते हो तो ख बोलो. So ख, ख, g, gh, you keep talking about it, right? So this is where identify and write aksharas taught in grade 1 is one of the milestones, by speaking, reading it aloud and writing it simultaneously. I never thought reading and numeracy will have so much of a logic in this. Accurately read out familiar 2 to 3 letter words with a matra. Yeah, matra. Now here matra they've written for Hindi. Maybe matra is too much applicable, but with respect to English, I can consider that to be a matra by having another letter itself. Hindi understand karna kafi aasan hai because matra is a separate entity, but matra in English is another alphabet. That's difficult to comprehend. I hope you're able to understand what I'm trying to say. So अगर आ लिखना है बस आ की मात्रा, but हिंदी में शायद 2 a आएगा, 2 a's. So yeah. milestone of literacy is little complicated from language perspective. And why is it complicated? Because at an early age a child is able to comprehend one language at home, but in school suddenly there is an introduction of a new language. And that is why pre-primary education talks about आजकल तो बच्चे जैसे बाहर आते हैं, like the moment they come to the world, parents are ready with the books. Look at this is A for apple, A for aeroplane. No, let's not do that, but yeah, that's somewhere, kind of a forcible supplement to the children. It is not required. Montessori techniques does not talk about it, in fact, for a long time. Let's go further. Grade 2. Now the moment we go to grade 2, narrate a simple story in their own words. There are elocution competitions and uska topics bhi diya hai Nipun Bharat mein. In fact, Diksha portal also, if we get into the details. So narrate a simple story in their own words. Second, read grade level text with reasonable fluency. Example, 30 words per minute. That's quite accurate. And orally answer simple factual or recall questions. Yes, the children are super fast actually at grade 2, at least in schools that are here in cities which I'm able to see, Hyderabad or Mumbai or Bangalore. They are way fast. Yeah, but there is a concern in little remote areas where the exposure of English as a language is comparatively less. Identify and write all aksharas taught till grade 2, that is in the third milestone. And fourth is write single line answers to questions based on a story. This is again in grade 2. Let's go further. Now in grade 3, orally express their opinion, understanding about a story and characters in that story. Now grade 3, okay, express their own opinion. That's different. Read their grade level text fluently. Example, 30 to 35 words per minute, and answer simple questions based on the meaning of text. And finally, write independently to express themselves. So these are some of the aspects of milestones in grade 3. Now, milestones in grade 3, I would like to continue with a lot of other activities. But once the children have attained certain level of literacy and numeracy by following CPA method or any other method for literacy as well, which I've actually not mentioned here in this session, we can get on to some of the online portals where we will understand what are the different areas where you can get yourself trained on. So that's it, teachers. This forms the basis of foundational literacy and numeracy. Now we will get on to another 5 to 10 minutes of activities where we'll understand how literacy and numeracy could be imbibed. And as always, I'm a big supporter of open education resources. Rather than depending on someone to create question paper and give it to you directly as a spoon feeding, I would encourage everyone out there to create it on your own. Well, in order to create on your own, you need some practice. And for that practice, you need some platforms. And probably these platforms that are going to come right now will be very helpful. And trust me, you are going to get into grade 1 and 2 right now. You'll feel that. So Playway method is suggested under foundational stage of NEP 2020. Playway, do they really have to mention that? It's obvious, right? Let's go. So for the first one, I would like to get into the platform called as ABCYA. And where are we? Here we are. And I think you're not able to see. Let me go back. Okay, here we go. The first platform on your screen. Yeah, you're able to see the screen, I think, teachers. Great. So now this particular website called as abcya.com is a fantastic platform on which you've got multiple games on literacy and numeracy. Please make a note of it, and this will give you a lot of insights on playing games. Some of you might already have used this during the pandemic, but please continue to do so. Now, one of this activity which I really liked about this, all about me. There are a lot of things we'll be playing one by one, but let's get on to all about me. So the moment I get into all about me, I hope the sound is shared and you will be able to hear it. So it's going to ask about the child. You remember the children should be able to speak about themselves in grade 3. This could be a good activity for that. And the questions are asked and the children.
About me.
So this is the template. So you will get finally this kind of a certification out there, and you can even put a photo out there. And this is me, let's go forward. So make your own.
What is your name?
My name is Vasudevan. That's a very long name, but that's fine.
When is your birthday?
My birthday is on 24th December. No, I can't write 1991. I should write 2000, about 15. Okay, chalo, 18. बहुत छोटा हूँ मैं. It's like that.
What do you look like?
I
Draw yourself.
Okay, okay, draw yourself. So that's great. Okay, I can draw myself. Okay, so how do I draw myself? Okay, this is my round face, kind of. Okay, I have got my headphones over here. Okay, and a big body. Okay, and that's me. दो आंखें और बहुत बड़ा सा मुंह. That's me. Let's go forward.
What grade are you in?
I'm in grade
Second
2.
grade.
Second grade.
Who is your teacher?
My teacher is okay. Sushmita ma'am. Okay, let's go.
What are you good at?
What are you good at? What am I good at? I am good at continuously talking. I think you can second that. Okay, too much talk. It's not getting typed. Come on. Okay, we go back. Talking. Chalo, let's go forward.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I hope you're able to understand the responses that a child will give will be simple and clear. I want to be pilot. Okay.
What do you like to do?
I like to do, this is maths, this is reading. Okay.
Math.
Did you understand here? There's a pictorial representation and the child is trying to guess. Let's go forward.
What is your favorite color?
My favorite color is, say, black today.
What is your favorite food?
Oh, big time. I love idlis.
What is your favorite animal?
I love dogs. That's it. So here in this case, you can see that your complete, that's my picture as well coming over there. I can even print it out and it could be saved and the children could take a printout of it and keep it in the classroom. I hope you're able to understand. Now, this is just one small introductory activity for the children to get introduced to this platform called as abcya.com. It's completely free. There are a few premium features as well, but yeah, this is how it looks like. Interesting, right? So right after that, we can get back. Again, you have got separate courses on parents and teachers as well. Okay, I'll save this for my future reference so that if any school asks my profile, I'll send this. How about that? So let's go forward. Now, apart from that, you also have few games depending on the grade and you can select them. But I would like to request and tell you very clearly that these grades are not as per Indian standards. These are as per United States standards. So a grade 3 for a United States boy could be grade 2 or 1 for Indian student. Or else there are chances where I've seen some platforms where grade 2 of India is actually present in pre-K in United States. So I would not rather directly go into the grade levels. I would directly get into the grade and see what kind of activities are present. And based on that, I'll decide if it is there for my grade or not. So probably in a month or two, once or twice in a month, we can get into such kind of activities with children. And this will definitely enable, some kind of student agency. Okay, so this is with respect to this aspect of abcya.com. Now I would like to show you another very good website called as let's get into Math Playground. Is Math Playground open? I think not. So let's go to Math Playground. Now Math Playground is for numeracy and you've got fantastic activities out there as well. And for example, depending on the grade, again, here you can choose, but there are too many advertisements that keep popping up over here. Don't get distracted by that. You can choose whatever you want. Addition, game, subtraction. I would prefer to go with, say, grade 2 right now. And under grade 2, so there is a game spotlight, Canoe Puppies. Let's click on that. And the moment I click on this, look at the way the game comes up, pops up. Okay. Oh, teachers, I think many of you are talking about the certificates and I can see just now. I would request you to please, give me some time. Considering the number of participation last year, I'm literally in search of a person who can make certificates. We're not having time. So there is a delay. Give me some time. I would say that another 1 week time and you'll definitely receive all your certificates. I'm very sorry. I noticed your messages just now. As I'm sharing the screen, I'm not able to see the chat. Okay, now I click on play. Watch this. Now player 493. Now, something very interesting about this game is, suppose if you are having your own Google Classroom and the children are present, all of them can play and the children can see their classmates' names also in the game itself. So play now. I'll click on play now right now. And I would prefer to be in red team. Okay, let's go. And I click on start. Start. Okay, 1 and now you can see the question being at the bottom. and this is 2-digit addition. This is 29, and I'm there in grade 2. This is 28. This is 24. Oh dear goodness. 1, 4 in the mind, 3 in the hand. 81. My numeracy skills. Okay, that should be 78. Okay, it will go for some time. 96. Okay, and 41, 56, 97. No, am I wrong? Yeah, 5, 7, 75. Okay, there's a good background music which I've actually stopped right now. Otherwise, it will be 32, 17. So you can see the other people who were there, and their names will also pop up. 32, 17. It's 49. 49, 26, 15. Should be 5, 7, 75. Okay, 9, 11, 119. But that's not the, I think 3-digit number has come, so probably not grade 2 for India. 7, 8, 107. Okay, 55, 60, 115. Okay, 84, 27, 7, 4, 11. No, okay. Wrong, it was 40, 51, 91. Oh, that's great. I'm done. Right? Now, this is just one of the examples of, thank you, Vinita, ma'am. One of the examples of this, math playground. And this has got a lot of, flexibilities with respect to various other games. You can get into story mode also, where if you solve a problem, only then you go to the next level of a story. Milestones and a lot of skills, thinking blocks. But one important aspect that a general, Indian teacher would think about is, don't you think the screen time will get increased? I very strongly second that. Definitely it will get increased. Maybe you can have some kind of a screen protector or some, if eyes or health is the point of view, but somewhere I really feel that after the CPA method, the more the number of practices through games, that will redirect their distraction towards games like this rather than playing Candy Crush or Subway Surfers or Temple Run. So it's all about the perspective of a teacher. So this is with respect to Math Playground. I've got 2 or 3 more, and one of them is called as pbslearningmedia.org. Now, PBS is fantastic with respect to English literacy. Numeracy is also great, but I found literacy to be super good because they're following the British aspects as well. So the grammar rules, though we don't really talk about the grammar rules to a large extent in at least till grade 3, but when they do something over here, it makes sense for a child who is in grade 6 also. I mean, when they go over there, they'll be able to remember, this is what I did in PBS, and it matches actually. So they've got the story. So this was Aladdin, Super Y. Super Y, just like the way we have Super Sunday or Super. This is Super Y, something like that. So Aladdin talks about, there's a story, and based on the story, there are certain questions that are asked exactly at the milestone. You can see that at this red particular point, there is a question. So let me just directly come over here and quickly play. Come on, I hope.
Great, we're all here. And together, we will solve Princess P's problem. Let's go.
So it's a proper story-based approach. Able to understand that for every question, there is a response that is expected. You keep typing it on the keyboard, and then the story continues. So PBS Learning Media is one very good example of literacy skills through story approach. There are other activities also, but look at the grade. This particular activity which we're talking about is grades pre-KG to KG, which is not applicable for India. The children need to take time to comprehend these letters if they are from a background where English is not so common. So considering a government school, no, this is not really advisable. So probably this could be used for grade 2 or 3. Hence, my point is, whenever we talk about these websites, they are globally present in multiple countries, open sources, but make sure that if it is applicable or not, go through them and then quickly, contribute to the points. Now, let's go further. PBS Learning Media is done. Now, there is another fantastic website which needs to be downloaded, and that's called as G-Compress. Now, considering the time, I'm not getting into the details of, how to download and all. You just need to go to the, G-Compress website. It's a downloadable. That means you don't require internet for playing on this. You have got math skills, science skills, reading skills, and a lot of other aspects in this. And this is very appropriate for Indian perspective as well. So G-Compress is a very good platform which could be downloaded, played in computers without even internet, and becomes very useful for the children to get their FLN done. That's it. That's it. There are other websites like, Fact Monsters and which are again a little on a higher level for grade 4 and 5. I find these to be interesting for primary class, which I would like to touch upon when we talk about National Curriculum Framework foundational stage. But Fact Monster, I'm just like telling it right now so that you can make a note of it and probably explore. Another one, Turaco Games, TURACOGAMES, turacogames.com, another fantastic platform again to talk about the grammar in English, the rules of grammar basically. So that's about Turaco Games, and even they have got multiple games out there like see this past continuous tense and used to grammar game for ESL. So yeah, so that's with respect to Turaco Games. So I've got the complete presentation on the resources of various websites, and when we conduct our super teacher CPD programs, I'm planning to include this from the upcoming batches in the future so that FLN can become one small entity in 25 hours. So we have come to the end of the session, teachers, almost there. Our team member will be putting the inquiry form on the chat regularly. And if there's any question, you can actually mention the details to us in the inquiry form, and I'll try to respond to that. And you all have my number. Most of you have. If you don't, please fill up the inquiry form and you'll get the number. And any teacher out there would like to participate in CPT program and complete the 25 hours in the vacation time, June or maximum by July first week will run the batches, and after that we have to stop considering low demand and we need to focus on writing our curriculum. So we write books, we write computer science curriculum. We have already done that. Some schools are already using it. Some of you are already here. Thank you so much for that. But anyways, so that's it with respect to foundational literacy and numeracy. From what is it, why is it launched, what are the different methods with which we can actually acquire, the milestones about it. I think everybody got the clarity on that, and some methodologies on internet from where we can imbibe these skills among the children. So this is with respect to FLN for another Super Sunday workshop on 4th of June. Now we will have multiple other sessions. There are a few topics that are present for next week. National Curriculum Framework foundational stage could be the topic for next Super Sunday, but depending on the requirement and understanding the need of that week, I'll be deciding on the topic. Thank you so much, teachers. It was great interacting with one and all. It's Sunday. Please enjoy your time with your family. I'm very sorry to take 1 hour of yours, but I make sure that this is beneficial and super engaging. I hope so. Thank you so much, teachers. I'll see you in the next Super Sunday workshop. If you have any queries, fill up the inquiry form. It'll be there on the chat. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, teachers. Thank you so much. I hope you got sufficient information. Yeah, thank you so much. You can get my number over there on the chat. You can participate in the programs that's coming on the chat, and you can talk to me as well, like anytime. Thank you so much to all the teachers from Army Public Schools. It really means a lot for your consistency. I'm also in touch with the Army Welfare Education Society for conducting FLN programs and CPD programs, but maybe this year it will not happen. It's taking time, next year. But yes. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much. Preena ma'am, Anita ma'am, Archana ma'am. Now I'm checking the chat. Yeah, thank you so much, Chandrasekhar sir. Raman, Sunil, you will be getting the certificate. Please don't mistake me. I've ensured that each and everyone gets a certificate. So next 15 days is the bracket. So today it's 4th. So assume by 24th, no, 20, approximately 20th of this month, you should receive your certificate for this week. Okay. Sure, Vishnupriya ma'am, I'll do that. This is informed that I have not received the certificate last session. If anyone did not receive any certificate, I'll also give you another mail ID to which you can actually write apart from messaging me. The mail ID is swati@superteacher.in. Let me put it on the chat. Swati@superteacher.in. So she's the one. Miss Swati is our administrator. And she takes care of the certification to everyone. I'm putting it on the chat to everyone. You'll receive it in. Okay, where is it? It went away. Come on. Okay, the chat is super fast and my computer is super slow. Swati@superteacher.in, and this needs to go to everyone. Okay, you got it. Dheeraj sir, thank you so much. You've always been there. Thank you, Narayani ma'am. Pratibha ma'am, thank you so much. Karishma ma'am, thank you. Thank you. I'm sending the mail again. Sushmita, keep sending It's there. Okay. Thank you to all the participants who were there on YouTube as well. Thank you so much. This session will be there on YouTube. It's more like a summary of what FLN is all about. So you can go there and get the details. And I'll also put the description, the link to join the course. Yeah. You'll be receiving it, Neeti ma'am. Don't worry, everyone. Teachers, I recently came to know that the certificates that you will be receiving on a Super Sunday workshop is more like a milestone in your career. It's like I've attended so many sessions, got benefited out of it. But this can actually not be counted under CPD if your principal is not accepting that. Yep. So just make sure that whatever certificates you receive, you account it for sure. Ask your principal, maybe prove the fact that yeah, you have learned a lot of things. And then in case of our actual workshop of CPD, we conduct assessments as well, which we submit to CBSE as well. So make sure that you join the training. That will be completely applicable for your 25 hours training program, categorized under under in-house training program arranged by the school. Yes, Anju ma'am, we can do that. We could have a separate session on that if that's your requirement. Okay, Saida Kaniz ma'am, this is Swati's mail ID. Yeah, somebody's helping me. Thank you. Great. Thank you, Meenakshi ma'am. Happy to see you always. Thank you, Asha ma'am. Please forward the link of the Super Sunday workshop to all your colleagues. Let everybody get benefited. There should be a time when, uh, looking forward for Super Sunday workshop should enable you to understand what's latest and happening in Indian education system and various other countries. That's it, teachers. It's time to close. Need to have some foundational literacy and numeracy for my baby as well. So I'll be carrying on. I'll talk about all these things further again in the next Super Sunday workshop on various other topics. Look out for the workshops under Super Sunday workshop upcoming events in superteacher.in website, or else join our Telegram group. Worst case scenario, save my number and check my WhatsApp status on Thursdays and Fridays. We'll be able to see what's the upcoming session. As of now, bye everyone. Happy weekend. Jai Hind.